There are 28 confirmed swine flu cases in New York City, according to Mayor Michael Bloomberg. Now, all of them are students at a private school in Queens. CNN's Deborah Farrick is outside the New York Department of Health. So, Deb, I know about the confirmed cases, but weren't there many more kids who were getting sick?
There were a lot who came to local hospitals in order to be tested. There were a number, about 125, who actually were experiencing flu-like symptoms over the weekend. So they all went to those hospitals just to see whether, in fact, it was a regular flu or whether it was the swine flu. About half were sent home, told to take Tylenol, monitor the symptoms. Now, this is no surprise to infectious disease specialists. They say what usually happens in a case like this is that a number of people test positive very quickly. Others may incubate for a little bit longer. But really, it's like tracking a hurricane. You're just trying to figure out whether it's going to the right or to the left, and you got to keep an eye on it to see how it develops. That's how outbreaks spread.
But it sounds like these kids, at least so far, none of them are exhibiting very serious signs, certainly not like what we saw in Mexico.
That's exactly right, and only one was hospitalized. We do not know if it was a child or whether it was an adult at the school, but for the most part, exactly. None were acutely ill, none had serious respiratory illnesses like pneumonia, but they did have flu-like symptoms. And again, because they're young, that works in their favor, obviously, because even though their immune system has never been exposed to this kind of influenza, in fact, they're healthy enough to combat it. The fear, of course, is if people who are older or even little kids, if they contract it, it can be more difficult to fight off.
And of course, we're hearing the same sort of advice all across the country, no matter where you live, but I would imagine it's really important in a city like New York, where so many people are commuting and coming into contact with thousands of people on the subway and on the sidewalks, to hear the advice of what the doctors have been saying. Wash your hands, that sort of stuff.
Well, that's exactly right. And, especially you're getting in and out of subways, you're getting in and out of taxis, telephones are shared in various offices. So it is very important. But again, Mayor Michael Bloomberg here in New York City was very stern about sort of advising people that, in fact, there may be 28 positive cases, but at the same time, it's only one cluster. So yes, if you're affiliated with this particular school, then your odds are a little bit higher than the normal person. What they're trying to do right now is just make sure that it remains at one cluster. And again, one big question that a lot of EMS workers are going to be asking, and that is, have you traveled to Mexico? Same with emergency rooms.